Hi there. Happy Veterans Day. I hope that you're having a wonderful day and that it's not just about having a barbecue, drinking, and eating. I hope that you really think about what this day means. As we celebrate our Veterans Day this year, I'd like you to keep a few things in mind. You see, there are a lot of misconceptions about veterans, and I feel that these misconceptions and stereotypes prevent people from helping or supporting veterans. So here are a few of the things to think about. So number one, not all veterans have post-traumatic stress disorder, or other known as PTSD. Veterans who do have PTSD are still very functional, great employees, and overall good human beings. Not all veterans deployed to a war zone. Some supported their comrades who deployed from their duty stations. They stayed behind. And without that support, things would have gone much more different for those who did deploy. Veterans do not receive guaranteed home loans. I get this one a lot. Their VA home loans are actually just a promissory note from the government that they will co-sign, but the veteran still has to go and qualify just like everybody else. And some VA home loan programs just offer lower down payments or sometimes a lower APR, but it's just slightly lower, and that's also not always available to veterans. It depends on politics, unfortunately, and the economy. But veterans still, when they do take on their VA home loan, they have to pay a funding fee, which is just a fee of 3% for first-time users, to be able to have that benefit of not paying a down payment. So that is rolled into their home loan for however the term of the loan is. Not all veterans get free health care by the VA healthcare system. Some actually do not even qualify. And those that do get care, not all of them get full care. Sometimes it's very limited depending on how long they served and what type of rating they get, disability rating by the VA healthcare system. And it's actually really tough to get rated for injuries or ailments that you got while serving. It's just reality of how it is. It's not all peaches and cream like some people think. Also, the VA is much like one of those limited government programs that they don't cover everything, even when they are, like, for example, a person who is 100% disabled and unable to work doesn't always get the best quality care. So I just wanted to clarify that. Only veterans who retire by completing a minimum of 20 years of service get a retirement pay, and that retirement pay is still tax deductible. So nobody runs away from taxes. Also, veterans and those who serve active, reserve, National Guard, Coast Guard, like all service branches, whether they're active or reserve or National Guard, they still pay taxes just like every other American. So, and there's no discount on those taxes, okay? So I've had that one quite a bit, surprisingly. So also, if you find yourself at a VA hospital or a VA clinic, when a lady walks up to the desk, please don't ask her what is her sponsor's ID number or social to check in. A lot of women have served in the military, so just because a lady walks up to the desk, don't assume that she's not the veteran. All right, so please share these facts with others when you hear them, and know that you can always show your support by donating your time, items, or money to certain organizations that help veterans. So some of them are the United Service Organization, also known as the USO, the Women's Memorial. Actually, there are some women's memorials that are trying to, be installed or built or whatever you might want to call it throughout the nation. So if your state has one, you might want to donate to that, because it takes millions of dollars, because they have to buy the land and then get the materials and get a builder and permits and all kinds of stuff. One of them, the biggest one that I know of, is the Women's Memorial in DC, and they're always taking donations and they've many times been threatened with shutting down because of the cost that it takes to run and keep everything open. So that one, I really love it because if you have grandmothers or aunts, or just a family member, a female family member who served, you can actually, or they should, or could, uh, submit their name, their rank, where they served and the years that they served, or the timeline, and a bio picture, so that when people go into the museum and look up people, then their name will come up, just to give acknowledgement to all the women who have served. And also the Service Action Women's Network, I really love this one because they provide like a voice in the legal world and in politics for women. For example, they helped pass the law for women to get medical care outside of the basis for OB and GYN, also for abortions and the pills. I'm not sure if it was for abortions, or at least the right for them to leave or to not get punished if they choose to have an abortion. And lastly, the EBB Foundation is the Entrepreneur Boot Camp for Veterans Foundation. It was founded in Syracuse University, and they provide amazing entrepreneur training to veterans. And also there are other programs from that big organization called the IVMF that provide funding for education on business and startups and stuff for National Guard, Reserve, so all the branches, and also even military families. But the EBV is specific to veterans. And lastly, let us not forget that there are many veterans out there who do need mental health help. And if they are feeling suicidal, please encourage them to get help by calling 1-800-273-8200, or just call them up and check on them, see how they're doing. Especially right now, we're in November now, so the holidays are coming, and overall, the holiday season tends to be a higher, we see a higher rate of suicides, not just among veterans, but overall, because people get lonely, and since it's a time of gathering with families and stuff, things happen. And so please keep that in mind. So I hope that this is helpful. If you have other organizations that you'd rather give to, like the Purple Service Heart Foundation or any other, please go ahead. And if anything, the best way, in my opinion, as a veteran, that you can support veterans, that you can honor their service, is by using your voice for what you believe in and going to the polls and voting for what you believe in. All right. Thank you so much, and have a wonderful Veterans Day.